200 tons of bones and flesh. Scientists have found a candidate for the heaviest animals in the history of the Earth. A whale that lived about 40 million years ago, with its dense, heavy bones, most likely lived in shallow water. Paleontologists have found a candidate for the heaviest animals that have ever lived on Earth. This is a whale species extinct millions of years ago that could weigh about 200 tons, or even up to 300. The scientific journal Nature on Wednesday published a report on the study of giant fossilized remains of an ancient whale found in the desert in South America, in southern Peru. In fact, the remains were found 13 years ago. But they were of such a size and shape that it took 3 years just to deliver them to Lima, the capital of Peru, where they have been studied ever since, explained Dr. Eli Amson, a member of the team of paleontologists who worked with the remains, led by Dr. Mario Urbina. This whale supposedly lived about 39 million years ago. It was somewhat smaller, shorter, than the current largest animals, blue whales, but, as scientists found out, much denser and heavier, so that only the largest blue whales ever caught reach its estimated mass. In total, 18 bones of the prehistoric giant were found, 13 vertebrae, 4 ribs, and part of the femur. This was enough for scientists to understand how heavy this whale could be. The point, in particular, was that his bones seemed to be affected by diseases called osteosclerosis and pachyostosis. The internal cavities were filled with bone tissue, and in general the bones were disproportionately thick, with additional growths on the surface. But these, according to scientists, were not diseases, but rather an evolutionary adaptation. A giant whale that grazed in shallow water needed to be strong. Similar bones are found in modern sea cows that live in coastal zones in different places of the world. Scientists have calculated that the Peruvian colossus could be 17 to 20 meters long, which is not particularly impressive. Blue whales can be up to 30 meters. But the mass of only the skeleton of the fossil giant was somewhere between 5.3 and 7.6 tons. If you add muscles, entrails and skin to this, the total body weight comes out, depending on various assumptions, from 85 to 320 tons. Dr. Eli Amson, curator of the State Museum of Natural History in Stuttgart, Germany, suggests using a median estimate of 180 tons. About this weight were the largest of the blue whales caught in the era of whaling. But we have no reason to think that our individual was any particularly large or small. Therefore, we must keep in mind that our median estimate is already at the highest rates in blue whales, said Dr. Amson on the BBC. SI. The team that studied the Peruvian remains compared them, in particular, to the blue whale, whose huge skeleton has been hanging in the Natural History Museum in London since 2017. The Peruvian whale, according to them, was about 5 meters shorter, but at the same time 2 to 3 times heavier than this modern whale.